Have you ever felt that no matter how much you take care of yourself, there's something about you that just smells old? I'm not just talking about cheap cologne or that deodorant that doesn't work like it used to. I mean that subtle, unmistakable smell that seems to scream to the world that time has left its mark on you, and not very kindly. Maybe you've noticed that even if you shower every day, there are parts of your body that still carry a strange odor, a silent signal of neglect. And no, it's not about getting older, it's about the bad habit of ignoring what we no longer notice. I'm Gabriel, and today I want to speak to you with the honesty you deserve. Because if there's one thing I've learned from the passing years, from stoicism and from the uncomfortable glances of grandchildren, it's that taking care of your body isn't about appearances, it's a declaration of presence. Failing to properly clean certain areas can do more than affect your hygiene. It can impact your health, your energy, and even your lifespan. Worst of all, nobody ever tells you this. Stay with me until the end because what I'm about to share might seem simple, but it's powerful. We're going to go over 10 parts of the body that most people overlook, but that could be quietly sabotaging your vitality, your dignity, and even your desire to seize the day. This isn't just another video about hygiene. It's a call to reclaim control over your body and your well-being, starting with the basics: water, soap, and respect for yourself. Number 1. Don't neglect your feet. That's where silent decline begins. Have you ever felt like walking is harder than it used to be, that your steps are clumsier, or that even putting on your shoes has turned into a daily hassle? It happens to a lot of people, and they blame it on getting older, as if losing agility and strength were inevitable. But the truth is, more often than not, it's not age that wears us down. It's the neglect we've shown our feet. And yes, I say neglect because it's easy to forget what we don't see until it starts to hurt. Your feet are the foundation of your independence. If they fail, everything else starts to crumble. And yet we treat them like dispensable accessories. Many older adults live with nail infections, cracked skin, fungal issues, calluses, even small wounds that never heal, silently stealing away their mobility, confidence, and social life. And when that happens, it's not just health that's lost, it's independence. The Stoic Epictetus once said, "We shouldn't complain about what lies within our control." And believe me, taking care of your feet is entirely up to you. According to podiatric medicine, poorly cared for feet are an open door to chronic infections, muscular imbalances, and even dangerous falls. And a fall, later in life, can be the beginning of confinement. Washing them thoroughly between the toes, under the nails, drying them carefully, moisturizing the skin, checking their condition. None of that is a luxury. It's a way of saying, I still walk on my own, I still choose where I'm going. Buddhism also reminds us of something profound. In every step, there's the opportunity to be present. Taking care of your feet is taking care of your connection to the earth, your ability to move forward, to stay part of the world. I'm not speaking from theory. I've seen how simply washing feet with intention can give someone back a lost sense of dignity. A man over 70 once confessed to me that he hadn't even looked at his feet in years. When he started taking care of them, his posture improved, his mood shifted, and he began walking to the market alone again after months of avoiding going out. Because the body doesn't just store memory, it also responds to the respect you show it. Next time you bathe, do it mindfully. Don't overlook your feet. Talk to them if you have to. Remember that as long as they are strong and healthy, you still have the power to walk through life with a steady stride. And if you think that's simple, wait until you discover what happens when we neglect the next area. Because it's not just your feet that hold you up. There's another part of your body, just as small, just as overlooked, and even more revealing. Number 2. Wash behind your ears. That's where forgetfulness gathers. In the small corners of the body, more hides than we might imagine. Behind the ears, that discreet fold we almost never look at, more than just dirt builds up. There, the dust of neglect settles, the trace of what we no longer tend to, and in many cases, the silent sign that we've begun to give up without even realizing it. It's easy to overlook. No one looks behind your ears. No one complains about it. But when you neglect that area, you're sending a message, not to the world but to yourself, that there are parts of your body you no longer believe deserve care. Think for a moment about Emperor Marcus Aurelius, surrounded by power, burdened with duties, wars, palace intrigues, yet he still found time each night to write his reflections, to look inward. He knew that even if no one else saw it, his soul needed cleansing, just as the body needs care. Today, the grime that builds up behind the ears might seem insignificant, but it's not. From a dermatological point of view, that area traps oil, dead skin cells, and moisture. If it's not washed regularly, it can become a breeding ground for bacteria, causing irritation, infections, or a strong, unpleasant odor, a physical echo of neglect. Picture now a widowed, retired woman who once lived a vibrant, full life. Her routines were orderly, her presence impeccable. But over time, loneliness and the growing distance from her children began to erode her spirit. She stopped grooming herself with care, stopped looking closely in the mirror. One day, during a medical checkup, the dermatologist pointed out an infection behind her ear. It wasn't serious, but she felt deeply ashamed, not because of the wound, but because of what it symbolized. She had let herself go. Not because she was too busy, but because she had stopped feeling important. That story, though hypothetical, is real for many. Behind the ears, more than oil can gather. Resignation settles there too. Stoicism teaches us that what we don't cultivate withers away. Seneca wrote that we must care for both body and soul, for both are instruments of virtue. Tending to the folds, the hidden places, the unseen parts is a way of exercising mastery over what we still control, our presence, our hygiene, our self-respect. Scientifically, microbiologists have shown that neglected patches of skin are ideal habitats for resilient bacteria. Not seeing them doesn't mean they aren't there. By ignoring them, we allow them to thrive. But the reverse is also true. The moment you decide to wash that area thoroughly, dry it, care for it, you're saying something deeper than, "I'm cleaning up." You're saying, "I still belong to myself." And if forgetfulness lives behind the ears, the next area we'll explore holds an even harsher truth. It's where abandonment becomes visible and begins to separate people from those around them. What's coming may be painful to hear, but that's exactly why we must talk about it. Number 3, clean armpits, a life free from toxins and social isolation. I want to suggest something very simple. The next time you're alone in front of the mirror, without rushing, lift your arms and really take a look. Don't just wash out of habit. Pause for a moment, feel the water, the soap, the scent. Ask yourself if you're truly cleaning yourself or just doing the bare minimum to get through the day. This is a small exercise in mindfulness, a conscious pause that reconnects you with your body. Because your armpits, as uncomfortable as it might be to admit, say a lot about you. Not just through any odor they might give off, but through what they represent. An intimate, vulnerable area, often overlooked or half-washed. The Stoic Epictetus said, "It's not the situation that harms us, but our reaction to it." And when we ignore a part of our body that produces a bad smell, our reaction is often avoidance. We pretend it doesn't exist. But the body, like the soul, insists. And if you don't care for it, it will remind you. Medicine tells us that armpits accumulate bacteria that ferment sweat, leading to strong odors and even infections. If not properly cleaned, those smells can become persistent and difficult to get rid of. Worse still, they can create social distance, even if no one says anything to your face. There's something deeply symbolic about raising your arms and cleaning with intention. It's a posture of openness, of surrender, but also of strength. Ancient yogis spoke of cleansing chakras in the arms, channels through which the body releases what it no longer needs. And you? What are you holding on to that you should have let go of by now? Sometimes, the odor that others notice doesn't just come from sweat. It comes from accumulated sadness, from emotional neglect, from losing touch with yourself. If you felt so far that this video is speaking directly to you, I'm glad. This space is made for those who refuse to give up, for those who want to keep living with dignity, presence, and independence. If you value this kind of content and want us to keep creating more reflections like this, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and tell me which country you're watching from. It means a lot to me to know where you're tuning in from and how you're living through this stage of life. Going back to caring for your armpits with awareness might seem like a small gesture, but behind every small habit, there's a big decision. The decision not to give up. And at this time of life, that matters more than ever. Because every time you clean yourself with care, you're reaffirming that you deserve to feel good, to smell good, and to be well. Not for others, for you, because you're still here. And that's something worth celebrating. Number 4, the belly button isn't just decoration, it's a nest of bacteria. In 2014, a group of microbiologists from North Carolina discovered more than 1,400 different species of bacteria inside the human belly button. Some of these species hadn't even been documented before. It's as if we're carrying, in that tiny forgotten fold, an entire ecosystem of our own. A hidden jungle that almost nobody cleans because almost nobody remembers it's there. Had you ever imagined that? That right there, in the center of your body, lives an invisible colony of microorganisms that, if left unattended, can lead to infections, bad odors, or even persistent skin issues. And I'm not talking about careless people. I'm talking about men and women like you and me who shower for years without giving a second thought to our belly buttons. The belly button is a powerful symbol. It represents our first connection to life, the scar of birth, the center from which we were nourished before we could breathe on our own. But curiously, it's also one of the first places we stop caring for. As if, once the cord was cut, we wanted to forget we had ever depended on anything or anyone. From a Stoic point of view, that makes sense. We should live without attachment. But Epictetus also insisted that we must take care of what is within our control. And caring for our body, as trivial as it may sound, is very much within our hands. Now I want you to do something. Next time you're standing in front of the mirror, lean in and take a good look at your belly button. See if it's clean, if there's dead skin built up, if it smells bad. It's not pleasant, I know, but it's real. Take a cotton swab with warm water and mild soap, gently clean the inside, and then dry it thoroughly. That's it. That small, intentional act is more than just hygiene. It's a way of coming back to yourself, of accepting that even the parts you no longer look at still belong to you. What if your belly button were a metaphor for everything you've stopped paying attention to? What if what you're hiding there mirrors what you're hiding inside yourself? Old thoughts you haven't revisited, unresolved emotions, ancient wounds that are still raw. Your body speaks to you, and you know it. It just sometimes speaks in silence, through a faint itch, a strange smell, a discomfort you ignore because other things seem more urgent. But on the path of self-care, there's nothing more urgent than self-awareness. Taking care of your belly button is really about taking care of your origin. It's about honoring your story without letting it weigh you down. It's about accepting that no matter how many decades you've lived, you still have the ability to start again from your center. Because as long as you're willing to clean what's been forgotten, there's no part of you that can't be reborn. Number 5. Take care of your groin, the gateway to your inner balance. There's a truth many people discover too late. When you ignore a part of your body, it doesn't just stay still. It stagnates, it inflames, it falls out of balance. And when it comes to the groin, that neglect can come at a high cost. It's a delicate, intimate area, sometimes uncomfortable to even mention, but no less essential because of it. Right there, where your legs, organs, and skin meet, there's a constant exchange of temperature, moisture, and friction. Without proper hygiene, that area becomes a trap for fungi, bacteria, and unpleasant odors that don't just affect your health, they undermine your sense of personal security. Because when something irritates you down there, your whole body feels it. The groin marks a point of balance between the upper and lower halves of the body. If it's inflamed, moist, or irritated, walking becomes torture. It stops you from moving freely. It forces you to hold back. And when you start restricting your movements, your thoughts begin to shrink too. Stoicism teaches that the soul grows stronger when the body is in harmony. But that harmony can't happen if there are parts of yourself you refuse to see. As Hippocrates said, it's more important to know what sort of person has a disease than to know what sort of disease a person has. The same idea applies to intimate care. It's not just about hygiene, it's about identity, about how much you value yourself every day. Both natural medicine and dermatological science recognize that the groin needs special attention. It's an area where sweat builds up easily and where skin folds can trap moisture, leading to chafing, rashes, fungal infections, or candida. Many older adults start experiencing discomfort there, but don't talk about it out of embarrassment. They use creams without a diagnosis, self-medicate, or worse, they ignore it completely. And that bodily silence can turn into isolation, into that persistent sense of discomfort that disconnects you from the world. Just imagine it for a moment. You wake up and take your shower. But this time, instead of rushing through your routine, you give special attention to that area. You clean it gently, using an appropriate soap, no scrubbing, no rushing. Then you dry it carefully and, if necessary, apply a little moisturizer or a natural antifungal product. That small gesture, seemingly insignificant, shifts the tone of your whole day. You walk lighter, you feel more secure, and even if no one else notices, you know something has changed. Because when even one part of you starts feeling cared for again, the rest of your body celebrates. In Taoism, it's taught that vital energy, or qi, flows more strongly when the body's centers are clean and balanced. The groin is part of that center. This isn't a superficial topic, it's a matter of integral well-being. How many times have you limited your movement because of discomfort that could have been prevented? How many times have you accepted pain as a natural part of aging, when in reality it was just your body asking for attention? I'm telling you this as Gabriel, but also as someone who has walked this path of reflection. There's no part of the body that doesn't deserve respect. No corner should live in the shadows of neglect. And when you start cleaning with intention, even the most intimate parts become an act of presence, a way of saying, I'm still here, and I belong to myself. Because taking care of your groin is not a shameful act. It's an affirmation of life, of dignity, and of balance. And when you reclaim that balance, your body remembers, and so does your soul. If you've made it this far, there's something important I want you to know. Not everyone has the strength to face the parts of their body they've long neglected. Not everyone is willing to hear that neglect isn't justified by age or to accept that even today, they can reclaim their well-being starting from the basics. But you have. You stayed until the end, you opened your mind, and that speaks to your desire to live with more dignity, more energy, and more awareness. And for that, I congratulate you. My name is Gabriel, and if this content resonated with you, if at any point during this video you felt I was speaking directly to your soul, I invite you to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't find empty words or quick promises here. What we share are truths, sometimes raw, but always with the intention of helping you reconnect with yourself. I want to ask you for a simple but powerful gesture. Comment with the phrase, "I choose to care for myself every day," and let me know which country you're watching from. It fills my heart to know where you're walking this path with me. Your story, your presence, your commitment, they are what give this space meaning. And if you know someone, maybe a friend, a brother, or a life companion who might also be going through a time of disconnection, share this video with them. Sometimes one word can spark a flame. Sometimes a truth spoken at the right moment can change everything. Thank you for being here, for listening attentively, for looking within. Keep taking care of yourself, not as an obligation, but as an act of deep respect for who you are and for the days that still await you. I'll see you again very soon, and until then, walk with strength, with cleanliness, and with purpose.